That's why you're blocked. Blocked.
That's why you're blocked. You're listening to That's Why You're Blocked podcast.
All right. Nice and into the mic. Welcome back. Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, friends.
It's been a while. How y'all been? Good. I'm glad to hear that.
I feel like it ain't been that long.
In the last 2 months, we've only had 2 episodes. And before that, there was a month between the last 3 months.
We gotta rest up to bring you the content that you deserve.
They deserve some sort of content, but it's fine. We just gonna record and upload when we can record and upload. Our real fans will appreciate that.
And we'll get better. We're growing.
Well, we're just not doing shit, and it's kind of hard to talk about stuff when you're not doing shit.
By not doing shit, we are taking a break from dating. However, mine is actually forced. Carson is choosing.
I mean, well, my best friend's not doing nothing. You know, we in this together. Ain't nobody go out with, and it was hard. Like
she's tried.
I have. It's been really sad. Literally, I was texting other people's friends. Like, what are you up to? Hey, people I ain't talked to in years. I did get invited to somebody's graduation cookout though, so that was nice.
The one with the strippers.
That was what I was trying to go to, and you wasn't trying to go. I was like, we bubble wrapped that knee.
Yeah, I literally had a very traumatic surgery. Okay, injury reserve for real. She literally called me and was like, we just bubble wrap the knee and just keep it moving. It's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me. But we can just go into a few updates, and then we'll go into, let's get into this good old content. So how have you been? Just in general, how have you been? Have you been feeling? Have you been dating yourself during this time? How have you been feeling?
I mean, I was like, dang, I ain't really got no money. Let's get some crab legs. Fuck it up.
Sound thought process to me. Sounds like a good narrow pathway.
Like, so am I still making bad decisions? Yes.
Of course.
But no, I mean, I'm all right, I guess. I don't know. This summer was supposed to be like a bag summer. Like 2 years ago, I was really like in my bag making money, and it was basically supposed to be the same thing, and like it hasn't happened. And so that's really frustrating, but it's like out of my hands. It's like facility issues. But I'm also trying to start a business, and that's been, like pretty hard, I guess. I don't know. I will say that I maybe I'm not being as diligent as I can, but I'm like guessing to what needs to happen next. And I guess I should just start shooting blanks, but I feel like I need to have something to like, okay, if I can talk to this person, right, I need to have some sort of numbers and something to present. So it's hard, but we bought some small stuff. We got
some merch.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just for me because, I like spending money.
Well, I mean, business is trial and error. Yeah, it's a process. So
yeah, and I guess, I got to have some more trial and error.
Yeah, and if you started at the top, what do you have to aspire to? What do you have to go to?
So I thought about getting that, what's her name, 2 weeks or something, little, from having a boss to being a boss with an A book. But that shit like $40, and she's going to tell me about Shopify, and I'm not selling.
It's an ebook?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm not selling a service. She is a university where you can get mentoring for like $500.
So they make their money.
Yeah. But I was like, I ain't think mentors cost money.
Oh, they do.
You pay your mentor?
Money. I'm trying to think. No, but I would. If someone could give me the straight, like, shortcuts, give me their connects, plus, like, things that literally took them 10 years to get, and I can get it for $500 in a third of the time, yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would pay $500 if I had the opportunity to. There's one that I'm going to pay for maybe next month. It's like professional development, like mentorship, but it's only $75.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Is it for your current job or the job you want?
It's personal development. So, like, they'll go through, like, the whole thing, like, finances and, like, just a whole bunch of different personal things.
I should do that.
Shit, it's only $75.
Yeah, I mean, I could
spend on crab legs. You can.
I know.
You can invest
Yeah.
in yourself in that way, and I think it'll be fun. So I'll send you the link. But I'm gonna shout her out because it's a Black woman-owned business. It's called Crowning Queens Mentoring.
Okay.
DMV based. But okay, so my updates. I'm really inside, y'all. The surgery was something, and I was thinking about getting a breast reduction, and they can have that shit. I won't be doing it. I'm not going under the knife again until I'm over 35, then had a kid, and my second body has come in. Then maybe I'll get a surgery to buy myself some time. But outside of that, it's a no for me. The pain, it ain't giving what it's supposed to have gave. And I feel like they gave me sugar pills and not Oxy.
Well, you signed up to like.
I signed up for as a fellow scientist. Okay, I signed up to advance science and public health. I signed
So
up
they
for
gave
them.
your bitch ass.
I signed up for them to monitor me, to monitor my pain. I did not sign up for them to give me sugar pills.
How are they going to monitor your pain if they gave you pain medicine?
I know what I said, okay? I said what I meant. And they assured me walking out of there that I wouldn't get a lower pain dosage, like a lower pain medication dosage. That's the only reason why I signed up for it, because they assured me. But it don't matter. We're going to go ahead and get into kind of like a would you rather trade off type of thing. We haven't done one of these since our very Freaky Girl series.
No, we've done it after that.
Have we? Okay. I think we
Somebody
done the
don't
college
listen
version.
to our episode.
Bitch, shut up. We done the college version. You're right. We had the
me up a
Ciroc
little
versus
wine.
something. Girl, y'all, I called this girl lightweight, and she decided that she was going to double down, and she was like, no, we going to do this. I'm about Ciroc. I'm going to come over. We going to have it
And
up.
she was
We
like,
gonna-"
"Oh no, my medication that I'm not taking. Oh, I don't want to drink Ciroc because I don't want to go out. I mean, like,
But that is me though. Why am I drinking Ciroc like just in the house? Like for what? Like I'm not.
because girl,
I'm
you
not
can go to
going
sleep.
anywhere.
You're gonna be knocked out. You'll be good sleep.
When I drink
Lullaby.
Ciroc or when I drink like hard liquor, I want to go somewhere. Like I want to do something. I want to make a bad decision so the calories can be worth it. I'm not trying to get just Ciroc. I'm in my grandmama's house. Like I'm not trying to do that.
I was like, shit. Me and grandma, we want to start salsa dancing. Like, all right. So the thing is, prior this past holiday weekend, my sister and I challenged ourselves to see who could really hold our own, and we really didn't figure it out. But everybody in my family got really drunk, and my mom, she fell, but like, she's okay. She fell like laterally across the porch over two like lawn chairs, and
They thought it was so funny. I was like, y'all are terrible humans.
everybody thought it was funny because she was like, "Did anybody else fall? Y'all good? Y'all fall? No, beloved, just you."
Beloved.
She was like, we all were lit, and it was bad because she was also trying to like, let's just drive. Like, girl,
Lord Jesus.
yeah, it was a mess. It was funny though.
Okay.
And then the next day we tried to do it again with tequila, and I'm like, you know what? I'm tired because I was laying down watching the fireworks, and I was like, everything's moving a little too much. Like, I'm gonna go to
Carson, you the
bed.
first one talking about drinks. It's just the body chemistry. As long as I eat something, I'll be fine. It's about body chemistry.
All right, so what's happening is when I get paid next week, I'm gonna bring her a Ciroc bottle. We're gonna drink, and she's gonna all this shit talking. We're gonna record again, and like,
Oh my God.
we'll hear this.
So let's get into our trade-off, this or that. So number one, let's say you meet someone. They check off all of your boxes. But, what did we call him before? He's a paper bag boy. He has a face that only a mother could love. Could you do that?
Yeah, I don't have an issue with ugly guys.
Girl, it's a lie from the pit of hell.
See, I would agree to
is a
that,
lie
but I've
from
seen
the pit of hell.
the people that I've talked to, they're not always cute.
That's true, but I don't know. I just feel like that's such cap. Like, such cap.
So what is your answer? Because you about to lie too. Go ahead, tell that bold faced lie. I'm listening.
I have to be attracted to the person. I personally do.
Yeah, but I feel like there's
they're
more than
different-
just like, I guess,
There
facial
are.
looks.
Yeah, there are. But a face that only a mother could love. You can
And a dick
uncheck
only a
another
thought
box.
could rub.
I don't think I could do that. I have
Yeah.
to be. They don't have to be conventionally attractive to everyone, but like I have to be physically attracted to them in some way, shape, or form. That is a requirement. All right, number 2, head forever or dick forever, and that's the only thing you can get. and you can't get it from nowhere else.
You first.
Head forever. Please. Head forever. I've never squirted from dick, so it's a done deal. Never orgasmed from it either, so it's a done deal.
Damn.
Coming and orgasm are two different things. We'll revisit this in Freaky Girl series. Maybe we'll pick that up in the fall.
I mean, you're just all right. I've kind of done both, so like this is a really hard choice. I'm contemplating. Can we come back?
No.
I don't know.
The final countdown.
I guess I'll take.
I already know your answer.
What is it?
I feel like it's dick. Dick.
Dick. Like a little TikTok.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, good head though. It's great, but like good head makes me want dick. Dick. I don't know. Like I said,
Give me good head and a nice toy. I'll be just fine.
I mean a nice toy, and I don't need a man. Nice toy in 30 minutes. We need 30 minutes. This would be like 45 seconds.
I need to buy another one. I definitely need to buy another one. But then
Why are
I'll
you
have a
late coming
hard-
over here?
I have a hard bitch. I have a hard time getting out of bed. When I had one, I mean like before work. I think I will wake up earlier. Oh my gosh. Okay. And the last one, which is unrelated, but I'm just curious. If you could pick a reality TV show to be on, which
Love
one?
and hip hop.
Which one?
Okay, wait, let me think. Let me really think about this. I feel like I'm a little too young for the Housewives. But I definitely feel like I would Love and hip hop.
I think it'd be
DMV.
cool.
Just kidding.
Paper
Just kidding.
brown bags of DMV.
Nah. Oh, duh. Basketball Wives. You be careful.
Yeah. You're not too young for that. I think it would
Me
be
and Jackie Christie would be good friends.
I think it'd be interesting if there was like a mid-level housewives of like 25 to, like 32, maybe.
Who you
even,
know is a
like,
housewife?
34. I don't, but I'm saying, I'm sure they're out there.
I mean,
Girl, 27 is the danger zone.
oh yeah.
So I'm sure they're
Where
out
our
there.
eggs are about to shrivel up and die
Basically, we're old hags.
at this
At
point.
yeah. So I'm pretty sure they're out there. They may not live here. There may be more of a southern thing where like they still encourage you to get married kind of young. But I'm sure they're out there. I would love to meet one. Let's put out a search.
I like how she be like, let's us, and it don't be let's us.
She basically is trying to say that I don't be pulling my weight in this podcast, and I am offended.
Guess what do you think?
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. Because as soon as it's over, I'm going to kick her right up out. It's cool. It's all goody. It's all goody. I'm not
I
going to
miss
answer the
hanging
phone.
her. I was like, yeah, I mean, you don't do that now either.
Yes, I do. Don't do that. Don't do that. My
Okay.
mom's like, she calling again.
Oops.
You're like, yes. My friend.
I mean, we ain't got nobody else to kiki with.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So we are moving into this shit that comes not in a shady way, but just like I'm not that friend. So the fact that like I pick up as much as I do, just to shoot the shit. She's like, I'm really surprised. That's all.
I've trained her well. It took a while. It's like 2.5 years.
I was like, why is this bitch calling me in the middle of the day? But now I look forward to some of the calls. I'm like, it'll be entertaining.
I was like, well, normally it is. I'm like, you ain't gonna believe this shit, because one of them was.
Oh. That may be a Freaky Girl series part 5 right there. This story that I'm thinking about in my head right now. But it's okay, y'all. In the fall, we are going to try double dating out again.
The best dick sucker in the relationship.
You want to say that a little louder, man, so everyone can hear?
No. Just imagine that.
I mean, that's a really interesting shit that came through your phone. If you want to share it. No?
Nope.
Okay, we're not
We
there
gotta
yet.
keep
Just
that one.
request it, y'all. request it because I want to see how she'll set it up. But now we're going to move into the shit that comes across our social media since we're not like dating as much. And we also want to move into a little bit more of social commentary and not just host stuff.
Oh, we forgot to say about your fangirling stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Or should we just keep that under wraps until
I think
it
we'll keep that under
actualize?
wraps. We're working on a really special guest, y'all. Like, I'm fangirling over this guest. She's like really inspired this podcast and like a few other things.
How do we get that information?
The shit that came through our phone.
Oh wow, she just now you're gonna bring it up. It's cool.
Shit that came through. I mean, do you want to?
No, I'm just poking fun with her. But you know,
She's obviously missed me. I haven't seen her in like 3 weeks.
I know I have. All right,
It's
so
fun.
the stuff that we've seen on social media, or the shit that comes through social media. What did I call it last time?
The shit that comes across on social media.
All
I
right.
think that's kind of long though. It probably was something shorter.
Yeah,
But y'all get the point. So
it's been a minute.
again, we reminding our Black-owned business.
Yeah, doing the best that we can. You know, I'm this close to selling coochie. Just kidding.
I mean, it'd be really easy because y'all is easy. But
I was gonna say the only thing is, and I'm gonna be real, the only reason I haven't done it is like I'm afraid I'm gonna start selling coochie and I'll still be broke. And like, just
can
imagine,
you imagine?
I am selling my body and I still am poor.
I mean, are we not fucking the text man for text though?
Low key, but
Who's
you know,
really down bad?
I'm still down bad. But just imagine, like, what if you have a price and somebody's like, nah, make it enough.
Damn.
Yeah.
So what do we see this week on our social media?
Okay, so one of our favorite trashy reality TV shows, came back, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and there's a clip from one of the couples on there, and like, I need to give Miss Erica minute credit because she was very calm and composed herself well, and there was obvious growth that has happened. Because if it was me, I would have threw something at what's his name's bitch ass or smacked him across the head. And you know,
Okay.
I don't condone violence. I really don't. And
Yes, men
and
shouldn't hit women shouldn't hit men. Everyone
all.
should keep their hands to
they
themselves.
should. They really should. And that's how you know that I still have some growing up to do, because I wanted to throw, like, as I was rewatching, I'm like, he really picked the right one.
Well, before we get into like what the situation was, let's give a little background for people who don't watch reality TV shows. So we all know Cornball Safari. I think
Well,
even if you don't watch reality TV, you kind of know who he is.
Well, the same thing. Well, they're both two reality stars. Safari, you first met him. He was Nicki Minaj's ex, but he's been on the Love and Hip Hop franchise for like 5 or 6 or so years, and so has Erica Mena. Might have been on there a little longer. You know, she kind of grew up with the show, and so I think they met on a reality TV show. And he, what I'm guessing, right, from just watching, like you said, the coin word love bombed her.
Yes.
And, you know, showed her a lot of affection. But they've had troubles. And with them both being social media or reality TV stars, they've been pretty honest, or they air a lot of when they're going through
I think
issues.
they're too public.
Well, I completely agree. However, their most recent thing is they got married last year and they just had a baby. And she currently, at the time of this filming, was pregnant with their second child. And I don't think she exactly knows it at this point, but she's since given birth to their second child. Mind you, the baby, I believe is a boy, he's currently in the NICU while Safari is celebrating his birthday in Jamaica. So this is the context. Now, like I said, neither of them are perfect, but what happens in this clip is they're having a discussion, and she was like, hey, I really feel like you're not holding your own. Like, this is supposed to be a partnership. You don't even think to, you know, let me sleep in. You're not thinking of, like, you know, this household management, like, okay, let me fold the clothes. Let me, you know, let me get up first with the baby and all that stuff. And he said, well, you don't do the same things that you did. Like, it doesn't make any sense for us, for you. This is Safari telling Erica, I guess, why would you throw our wedding pictures in the trash? And her response is, the reason I did that was because Safari had tweeted that marrying Erica was the biggest mistake that he made in his life.
In full cap.
And what did he? And he said, Twitter is not real life. And at that moment, my crock would have flew across that goddamn.
Not the Crocs. Not the Crocs, honey. Oh my gosh.
I feel like people hate on Crocs, so you get a pair of Crocs. And then you realize you need another pair of Crocs. Have you ever worn a pair of Crocs?
I think they're ugly shoes.
Have you ever worn, like, I hear you.
Unpopular opinion, but I think they're really ugly, so no, I wouldn't wear them.
They're so comfy. People who, all I feel like I said, everybody who hates Crocs just never wore a pair. And that's okay. Because as soon as you get a pair, you're going to have a house pair, you're going out pair, and your grocery store pair.
I feel the same way about Uggs. I think they're just too popular, so I just hate them because they're just like,
oh, she's one of those.
I'm not even one of those, oh, it got to be exclusive type person. For one, I don't think that they're like nice looking shoes. Mm-hmm. And then on top of the fact that everyone has them, just doesn't help. But
Uggs are also comfy. These bitches don't like comfy shoe wear.
It really could just be that.
Yeah. She's like, ooh, my feet are rested and I'm comfortable and I'm able to walk.
Okay, so there are a few different points here with the Erica and Safari situation. The real life versus Twitter thing. For one, I am someone who advocates like we should stop acting like we don't live most of our lives online. Like we really do. So the things that you put out online, you may think it's not real life, but it is because you put everything else about your real life online.
Yeah,
that's literally how this communication communicates. How we show people what's going on, how we update people on life. Damn, like funerals. Like, somebody died. Like, that's put online.
No, and I agree to that. But I do think that certain things aren't, you could not be as serious. But I feel like in this case, you meant what you said. You meant that for your real life. You're tweeting, I'm the biggest mistake that you've made. It was marrying me.
How did you think that was going to go over? What's the intended response?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be like, oh, he's just being, that on Twitter.
Lucky she didn't do a waiting to exhale on all your shit.
And what I'm saying is his actions since then has proved that that's what you thought. And also, we're going to get into, another thing. But I will say that there is currently, like I said, she had called out another woman for being on vacation with Safari.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's where the postpartum thing came from.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay.
So I do think that like I'm gonna go make this point, and then we're gonna come back to this. But she and Little Duval ended up having an exchange where she was, calling him out, and he's like, "Hey, weren't y'all supposed to get a divorce? Right? Like, are you with the man or not? Like, it seems like can you, like,
I don't think that's any of his business.
Well, yes, but at the same time, I do think when you put things out there, that is a ramification of it. I do think
that's true. I'll give you that. That's true.
So he commented like, hey, you can't, like, either you're going to be with him or you're going to divorce him. Like, can you be going back and forth? Like, you're not doing this, but then we're not together, but you're mad at somebody for if he's moving on, even though it is completely inappropriate and I don't think it's right.
Wait, but they weren't divorced.
They're not. But what I guess he's saying is like, pick a side.
She's married to him. She has kids with him. I don't think it's that black and white.
No, I agree.
And that's Lil Duval, like
little men have always this big audacity, and that's what I just don't understand. But I think, like more or less what I'm saying is you really can't put everything out there. So calling out that girl I don't think was appropriate. But Little Duval's response to her clapping back on him, like, mind your business, was, oh, your postpartum is showing.
That's so wrong.
And I feel like he felt like a little catty bitch saying that. Yeah, that was just, girl,
think about
grow up. You can't get on a Superman.
Think about the messiest bitch you know. It's a man, ain't it?
Oh, look at her quoting that tweet. Mm-hmm. She was waiting for that.
I was. It's a man, ain't it?
It really is.
The cattiest, the messiest, it's definitely a man.
It is.
And I really will be glad when this obsession with humbling women is over. It may never be, but it's like an obsession now. Like, cause he probably thought that was really funny, and he probably thought like
people
that was
thought
like,
it was
ooh, zinger, like, ooh, I got her,
and people probably did too. And I just realized, like, I can't fuck with y'all. Like, a lot of y'all, people social media really be telling, like, you could really find out who somebody really is. Like, they'll put on certain fronts and stuff, but like
the friend test to Miami.
oh yeah, they said girls be friends for 10 years, go to Miami for like 3 days and never talk again, which, you know, is true, but people
We've never
really,
taken the Miami test. Maybe that's a 2022 venture.
I mean, we took a Jamaica test.
Did I talk to you for a week?
I mean, well, I want to make sure. Okay, you talked to me, but I was walking on eggshells. I treaded lightly. I was like, I waited till like maybe like day 5 or 6. I was like, all right, I don't know if she was serious, but I'm giving her a few days to cool off.
Mm-mm.
But you know, we're in gray now.
Mm-hmm.
We're basically in a relationship. I know I'm gonna be mad when she gets a boyfriend.
You really think I'm still that girl?
I was like, go ahead and lie on this microphone.
Yo, she really thinks I'm still that girl who drops like her friends for boyfriend. And y'all, like, I have grown.
Well, we'll see.
And
I have faith in you.
We were like, that person was closer in proximity to me than like you were. It wasn't like.
Well, I feel like we've definitely grown in our relationship now.
Yeah.
But also, you know, we're just different people. Like I said, I'm one of those people, like, I'm going to call you to shoot the shit.
I definitely saw you all the time when you had a boyfriend. It made me wonder. I thought I knew you didn't like that nigga. Literally, I was like, she's too available.
But, no, all right, in that situation, our schedules didn't match up. I would work during the week, and then he would work on the weekends. So, shit. When I was off, you were off. We had a more available schedule. Our schedules
a little bit more compatible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Our schedules were more compatible than me and his were.
Okay.
And then we break up, and then his schedule changes. But, you know, I let it go.
Okay. It sounds like their relationship was very much roommate and not spouse, or is what it sounds like. And she said that. She was like, what's up, roommate? That's how the clip starts.
I feel like their relationship was one of those things where they got together pretty quickly. They got married very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Had a baby within maybe 2 or 3 years of culminating together. And what she said, and it sounds like he thought he wanted something. Mm-hmm. Did what he felt like he should have done and realized, oh, I'd rather be single. Like she in this video, you know, we'll link it in the description. She was like, you pursued me, you wanted this marriage, you wanted this family, but now that it's not what you conceptualized in your head, you want to back out.
Yeah, and she said constantly, you don't know how to do real life.
Yeah, and I think that is what it is. Is he had this idea of what it would be, and it's not that, and he's like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. A lot of people do that. They go with what they think they should do. Like, okay, I should get married, and that's not necessarily what you want. Mm-hmm. And these are the ramifications. The biggest issue, though, that I have, especially as a young woman who, you know, may date, have family, and one of the reasons why I'm not interested in marriage or anything at this point is he could back out of his family, and he's not really gonna, like, not much in his life is gonna change. Like, he's not gonna lose money for real. He's not going to be looked at any kind of way if he no longer wants the family. If Erica were to do the same thing, they would treat her like, what's her name? Moniece. And they would call her all kinds of bad mothers and stuff when she realized that she had some issues mentally and she left a kid with her father for like a year or 2.
Which is what's best for the child.
Yeah. So it's just, you know, it's different standards. But we're going to get more into that. So,
okay, let me think. I have a general issue with people asking me to do things or asking me for things and then not following through. And that's how I see marriage. I'm never there. Have you seen the media lately?
Oh, yeah. The PR for marriage and pregnancy is so bad. Like, I don't want to do no parts. None of that.
We're going to get to that in our next topic. But no, I'm talking about the amount of women proposing to men.
Girl, I don't see that.
My heart.
I don't know what timeline you've got. I don't have none of that shit on my phone. I was like, I don't follow nobody.
So I see it, but I think I'm following a lot more social commentary people, like a lot more Black women social commentary, and they've been like posting it like to start off one of their videos and like talking about how like, sis, what you doing? And I just want to take this time to interrupt that terrible thought pattern for any woman thinking that that's okay. Sis, if he wanted to marry you, he would. And any man that is still dating you and there's no commitment, there's like, y'all don't know what's going on after, I want to say 4 or 5 years, that's a stretch. You are a placeholder.
Yikes. I mean, I feel like if you want to propose to a man, you do that. I will never, ever, 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 ever in my natural or my child or their child's life do that. And if I ever come to you and say I want to do that, commit me. I am going
Run
to
you over.
No, I was
Obviously,
like,
you're not. You're right, Mike.
I was like, don't you run me over. Yeah, I was like, check me into.
Mental,
I was gonna say, straight jacket me ASAP. That isn't a cry for help. That is how you know. That's how you know I'm being kidnapped. If I tweet some shit like that or do something like that,
I would just love to. I think I don't know. Maybe it's this independent woman. I don't know.
I don't think that what it is is. I think you
get tired of waiting.
Yeah. I mean, my mom asked my dad.
Really?
Yeah. He was like, "Nah."
I thought she gave him an ultimatum. You think that's the same thing?
No, they were dating for. That's also why I'm not gonna date for a long time. But at one point, she asked him. He was like, "No," and she's like, "Okay," and then they continue to date.
What's the timeline that you're willing to? How long will you wait?
At this point in my life,
and no prospect for marriage.
I feel like since I'm not where I'm at right now in my life, I'll be a little more lenient. 4 years.
I think 4 years is okay. I think 4 years max.
I feel like 4 years right now at 25.
Yeah.
When I am 29, 3.5 months. You should know, like, if you love me or not. Like, what's going on?
Wow. You're going to end up like Erica.
Hey, bro. I'll be damned. I don't see marriage in the cards for me.
And that's also another conversation. Like, that should not be the pinnacle, like, accomplishment for a woman.
We'll come back to that, too.
We definitely will.
We
Just
did.
like a teaser, that should not be the only aspiration.
But somebody told me they think I'd be a good wife and mom. And I was like, I don't even want to say it. All right, shit. I was like, I don't know where you got that from.
I'm going to leave that one alone because the man that she's referring to has his own set of interesting qualities.
I mean, he's currently playing professional.
Is he? Oh, he made it?
I mean, it's arena, so that's why we're not married right now. That's why this is all hypothetical, baby. Just kidding.
Lord. Okay. Well.
Allegedly.
So, I also wanted to make sure that we define what love bombing is for some people who are unaware of what that is. So love bombing is when you first meet someone and they are like really, it's not even just interest. It goes past interest. They are pulling out all the stops
affectionate,
for you.
super, giving
Within the first month. Like they're just
love
like
language,
everything.
They're compassionate, they're listening. It's all about you. And I'm going to shout out again, Shan Booty, this intimacy expert that I follow. She had made a really good video about that. And it's essentially how it works is they start off giving you love bombing and then they'll be inconsistent. And there's studies that show they did it in rats where like they had a rat, let's say they had a cheese. They press the button, they got cheese, right? The rat would go about its day. When he got hungry, come press the cheese. What happens when the cheese was when it was inconsistent? The study showed that instead of going around and playing, the rat would press the button each and every time to see if he would get cheese or not. So the most addictive thing is the inconsistent reward. The same thing with like gambling and stuff. Win big, you might lose, that type of thing. So that's how it works. It's very addicting. Love bombing, it's a lot of love up front, and then it is inconsistent. It goes from like 0, 60, 100, back down to 0, maybe 6.
Just as quick, and you'll be like thinking like, dang, like was it me? And it's just like, oh.
How do you feel like you've experienced that?
I don't know. Not at the levels of what I'm hearing it can get to.
Yeah, I know. One I saw was like, it was very bad, but I'm into true crime, so I'm not even gonna ruin your day.
That's actually the last time I saw it. I was watching True Crime earlier today. Yeah,
Oh, I'm rubbing off.
a little bit, and then I was like, I don't like this shit, so I turned it.
Well, no, it was just the thing I don't get is like I get you being mad at somebody and you kill them. What the baby got to do with nothing? Like the child, your children. I just could never get that. Like,
Yeah, it's But when it comes to love bombing,
I don't think I've experienced that, but I also don't feel like I've experienced love. So,
well, love bombing isn't love.
well, yeah, but like, bitch, none of that. I was like, these niggas don't love me.
Oh my gosh. I think for men, when they first meet a woman, their first objective is, okay, I gotta get her to really like me. And that's where love bombing comes in. And they're so focused on, oh, I gotta get her to really like me, that they're not even sure about if they even like you or not. So I think like the inconsistency is like you like the idea of that person. And I think men get off to making women fall for them.
I do think that is that strokes their ego. There's a lot of like manly traits and a lot of things from like real men. To me, it's a lot of narcissism. Like a lot of these ladies' mans and a lot of guys. Yeah, it's just in other words to me. And like I said, I don't really know, but it sounds like just narcissism. Instead of being honest and upfront, it's a lot of manipulation.
You become who she wants, so she can fall for you.
And then you want to leave her high and dry, and it's a part of the game. Like John Tucker Must Die. How his whole thing worked is like he was upfront, right? And so then you would go along and you agree to mess with him in secret, and then when you get mad and want more, it's like, oh well, I did agree to it.
I did tell her. Yeah. I did say yes.
So
the manipulation is.
I feel like
that's why I don't feel like men are that stupid. I feel like we be giving them way too much credit to be.
No, I agree. There's like this willful ignorance that they have. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know, and it's like you.
No, I feel like men know like exactly what they're doing. Honestly, I think that men size you up. Well, I think I've said this before. Like quality calculations, like they size you up and they figure out what can I get from her. What will she go along with? And that's like the first week to 2 weeks of you talking to a dude. Is him trying to figure out, what type of woman is she?
I will say, I did think with one of the issues with my ex was, like I said, he was a genuinely nice person. I do think though, however, sometimes it would be like, I don't want to say starstruck. In a sense,
she's trying to say she was a bad bitch, y'all, and he wasn't used to it. That's what she's trying to say. Tell me I'm wrong.
Not really, but it's kind of like, my nigga, I got a lot of flaws. I was like, yeah, but he had flaws too, and his niceness was also an issue because like we definitely left like a really great date because his friend had a flat tire, and like. We were at like his favorite team and to see them in a basketball game. I bought really nice tickets.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, like after the game we had like gotten drinks, so we were having like a great day, and we had to leave.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I did. The girl was like, "We really leave?" Like I was upset.
That's definitely something to be upset over, especially since that's like a date that like you plan, like you actually put in some effort.
And
you got the tickets.
They were really nice tickets.
Yeah,
I can't go back now. And then that's the friend too. That like
tried to get it after.
No,
I'm
talking about the other friend that had pages of allegations.
Oh
yeah.
Oh wow, interesting. Well, okay. Well, when it comes to nice guys, we've said this before. Dudes, don't be lying for pussy. Like, please.
I feel like very rarely are there actual nice guys, genuinely nice. You're nice because you want something. When you're genuinely a nice guy, like
whether you get what you want, you're okay.
All right, can you think of times since this has been like outside my ex? I remember when I went to the Senior Bowl with my sister and my cousin, and there was one of the guys. He actually plays the Baltimore Ravens. Like, shout out to him. He was really nice, and like he wasn't really trying to like fuck us, and like he paid for things. It was a good time. We were vibing. It was great. The other people he was with though, they were not as nice. That was a guy that was like I didn't say this. One of the guys was like, if y'all are coming back to me, like, we either gonna fuck or y'all gotta go somewhere else. And I'm with my sister and my cousin. It's like, we're all gonna have a really fun night, or the night ends here.
Okay, so for one, honestly, at least, he didn't try to get you back and like, try
With the
something.
script, yeah.
However, I feel like that reads insecurity to me, where the only time that you're nice to a woman is so that she can sleep with you. That means you feel like you have to morph into a different person, because nobody would sleep with you if you actually were who you were up front. That should be a huge ego hit to you, that you feel like you have to lie for pussy. And I really wish men would think of it like that.
Yeah, they don't. They think of it as like the dance, the game.
That's really sad.
And also, you kind of go back to like the humbling of women too. We kind of touched on that. It seems like instead of dating what you want, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be a decent human being, even if you're not necessarily who that quote unquote person wants, but especially for men, it seems like they date the women that they feel like they should be with, or what society likes or agrees with or says is a good woman, but that's not who they want. And so in the end, they cheat on the person that they're with because of societal pressures, or this is the ideal woman.
She presents well.
Yeah. And then they cheat on her with a woman that they actually like. And it's like, if you would just date or be in relationships with, like, you don't even have to date or get married. If that's not something you want, just be single. You don't have to get married to have a child.
And also, y'all don't even have the extreme social pressures that women do. Like, I really be surprised when I see men like Offset, like men in the industry and like basketball players specifically. Why are you in a relationship?
Because men benefit from wives.
Daggone well.
When
you're
a wife
not ready for it.
When a man has a wife, it's a good thing. Men benefit from marriage. Next
that was going to be our third thing, but we can just go ahead and jump.
I was going to say
that. We can jump right into it right now.
It is the segue. They benefit from having a wife and having a marriage, because for a lot of men, it is a mother, a nanny, a house cleaner, a sex on demand rolled in one that you don't have to pay.
Okay, they pay in particular ways. Typically, they should be paying majority of the bills, if not all of them.
But that's not
should be paying for the dates. I know it's not the case in all of the situations, but that typically is
the trade-off.
The trade-off.
Yeah.
But I think we should really stop associating a wife with the housemaid, because they're not the same thing. A wife is going to give you discernment when you can't see clearly.
That's also what they want.
Like, there are so many different things that go along with being a wife. Like, there are women who can cook, clean. You will never see a dirty dish in your life, and she will still go out and she will do her, and she'll cheat, and she can do that. And I think men turn their nose up at women who are not domesticated. I definitely grew up and my dad was like, nope, she's not doing dishes. She's not clean. She's not doing anything. You know why? Because we can't afford for her to go to college, but she need to go. So she needs to study. She needs to be in her book so that she can do something. Like, I don't want her to marry a rich man. I want her to be the rich man, basically. And I can't imagine a man coming to me like requiring all these domestic things. Nigga, if you can't mount a TV, if I still got to ask my dad to do that, don't ask me if I can cook. Are you out your mind?
Like I said, I think that the thing is that men expect women to be very be able to cook.
Robots.
Oh, what is it? Let me quote the tweet. This is from what I'm gathering, men want let me go to my photos. Here we go. Yeah, they want a virgin hoe who makes a lot of money, but not more than they do. They want them to be submissive, but independent at the same time. They want them to pick better men, but give their broke ass a chance, right? All while letting them be the king of the household, but not putting them on child support or requiring them to get married if they don't want to.
So many contradictions within the statement, and I guarantee you all of them were felt.
Well, I mean, and men might say women have some contradictions of what they want, but at the end of the day, women just want to be secure.
Yes.
It's just they want to be secure. They want to be comfortable. They want to be able to not wear so many hats. Yeah. They're not saying that we won't. Like, when I think of my future, I think of myself as somebody who has more than one job, that does more than one thing. I want a job. I want a passion project. Mm-hmm. I would like to have a family as well.
Right.
But I'm not trying to do all of that and split the bills.
I think security is the main word. Women
Yeah.
definitely require security, and I think men hear security and only think of money. There are so many different ways that you can secure your woman. She should be able to walk into situations and know that my husband is not going to embarrass me.
Or that, like if I would like to do something, I have a partner that is willing to back me up. Okay, so I thought I think there's a new season of like Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I just happened to click on this episode, and one of the guys, I forgot what his name is, the wife was like, hey, I need you to watch the kids for a few hours. I'm gonna go out. And he was so offended because he planned on going golfing with that day. He's like, this is my one day, like that's not okay. And it's like, I feel like it's abandonment for a woman to leave her kids with the father. And the craziest thing, right, is it was like breakfast time, and the kids were like, oh, can you make us something? And he really didn't know his way around the kitchen. And he's like, you know what, I'm gonna make a peanut butter jelly sandwich. His son was allergic to peanuts. He almost killed his child.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember there's been a few TikToks and videos and things I've seen on Twitter where it's like the man of the house, quote unquote, or the father doesn't really know much about what the children have going on. And I think that that's insane.
Not a flex at all.
And that just might be because my dad was like the parent that was home consistently. Like, I feel like I was also probably why we adjusted to school pretty well as well, because he's like, hey, my dad's at home. Like, if I'm not worried, like, so you really I'm gonna call my dad. You're gonna come pick me up. Like, so I do think that the way that you're brought up does play a role into that. Like, I can't imagine being with somebody who is not going to be like in their kids' lives. Like, I don't know what
I'm not trying to be a married single parent.
Yeah, like where you're not in an acting role. Like, my dad is not the best with like education and all that stuff, but he was there. Mm-hmm. Like, he was in the day-to-day. Like, he carried around my brother's inhaler. He had one in his car, one in his pocket. You knew people's, like, where your insurance card was, so their numbers, things like that. Like, he didn't know everything. Like, he knew dentists, you knew teachers. And I mean, give or take. He still don't know Chanel's name sometimes.
For real?
I'd be like, do you know who this is? And
he do be doing that.
He says, well, most of my friends, they all kind of start with the same letter. So there's a lot of
That's true.
that.
True.
But I feel like that is something he definitely provided, and he was present. So when I think of a partner moving forward for me, those are the minimum requirements. Now, I would like you to go above and beyond because he had some shortfallings and shortcomings. Mm-hmm. But I just can't imagine like you having a child and you not knowing what's going on with that child. All right, okay. This is a segue, but I'm gonna come back. Like, that's why I feel like certain people, they have kids, right? They have a whole bunch of them and they have money, but you can't be effectively in 6 different kids' life that live different places.
At Nick Cannon.
At Future.
At most of the rappers in the rap game.
I was like, at a lot of these athletes. At a lot of people, like,
it's just, oof, gosh, it just.
I granted you could maybe afford to send more than one person child support, but how can you actively be in 4 kids' lives that one lives in Atlanta, one lives in LA, the other one lives in New York, and you live in Houston? It just don't make any sense.
So I'm gonna segue this a little bit so we can get to our last topic. So my dad's actually like the opposite. I'm pretty sure he didn't know any of that stuff. And my mom has actually said to me, yeah, he was in a home, he's a great provider. Like, she'll say that first, and then she'll be like, but he would not know how to do anything, basically.
So I mean, I guess there's
I know my dad in particular, and I know his dad is the same way. It took a long time for him to realize that your value in being a father is not just in being a provider. That is one part. Your identity cannot be in being a provider, because at this point I'm 25, so no, I don't need my dad to send me money. I need other things from him that I think it's slower for him to realize that I don't need him for the security things now. I need him for like more of emotional things, or more of like, I'm proud of you type support. And it's like slower for him to do that because he's so conditioned to think that, oh, well, if I'm not providing my child with insurance or with money or with, I don't know, whatever security things, that he's not valuable as a man or as a dad.
And I think that the biggest issue that I have is that the woman is supposed to do both. Like, if a woman doesn't do that, like let's say the house is a mess, it is not a reflection on the man, it's a reflection on the woman. You go in the house and it's a mess. Like I remember I saw this one video where the mom, right, and they had like a few kids, and this is in the thick of the pandemic. She's been working like over 12, 13 hours, and she comes home and the house is a mess. And she was like, she started crying. Imagine you work like 12-hour shifts and you come back after battling COVID and like nothing is done. No dishes are done. No kids are done. And I feel like my mom's biggest issue. She would work, and my mom's work had her away from the house. And we would come back and like, granted, yeah, we ate, but like no housework was done. Our schoolwork wasn't really attended to. So there was definitely holes in that. But like I said, there are some pros to that. I don't know. I just feel like, to me, it's irresponsible for you to know so little about your child.
It is. I also think men aren't as great husbands as they think.
And I feel like that's the biggest thing. And I was talking to my mom about that. I'm like, I don't feel like you can be that great of a father and you're not a great husband.
I agree.
Like, and she's like, well, no. And I'm like, no, like when you really
roles, but I
agree. They play in each other. Like if you're using an example, this is a teachable moment. All right. If I want to be the example, you have to be a good husband to be a good father. Mm-hmm. And I disagree with your mama. Like, go back and forth with her, not me. And
yeah,
and that's just that on that. I mean,
if you're not making anything easier for your wife, but you're requesting her to do all these things, like, you're another kid. Honestly.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people, like I said, men benefit from having wives, and it's not, or at least what I haven't seen. And I'm talking about the relationships that I've seen in my family, and like I said, things you see on television, in the media. It doesn't seem like women benefit from marriage as much as men do.
They also live longer.
What?
Men live longer when they get married.
Because somebody's taking care of them.
Yeah. Statistically proven. Okay, so that brings us into our last point. When are we going to stop romanticizing your grandmama and your granddaddy's marriage?
Well, I think what it was, and I saw this was a tweet, and it was like, where did y'all get all these like ideas that the marriages were bad? And I'm like, while the boys were playing outside, grandma was spilling tea. I don't know if it happened to you.
But granted, my grandmother, I didn't see my dad's mom who would live that more traditional lifestyle. I didn't see her as much. Maybe I saw her like once a month because she lived in Virginia. So maybe my cousins have. But Geneva was definitely 30 and she had 7 kids. Maybe she was even 28. And by 28, she had 7 kids in her home.
And Geneva needed cable. Oh my God. That bitch need Netflix. Like, I remember having a conversation with my grandma about something like that. She said, hey, at a certain point, my grandfather was like, he didn't want to do this anymore. And my grandma, she real thug out G. So she's like, that's fine. Get out by Friday.
I ain't leaving.
Yeah. And
ain't nobody coming to see
and
you,
she
Otis.
was saying, hey, like, she said, I don't know what he did or who he talked to. And they realized that the grass wasn't greener on the other side, but he didn't leave. And but I feel like my family, the women in our life has been pretty resilient, but we really don't get that same option. I think that there is a romanticization that time equals happiness. Mm-hmm. We understand that marriages don't last as long nowadays because we have options. I don't have to be married.
Exactly.
I don't have to stay married. The women weren't allowed to have a bank account without a man. Like, and that wasn't that long ago, maybe 40, 50 years. Yeah. So that's parents. Like that's not something that is out of our realm of understanding. Things were different. When you talk to people who lived that, they would say, have your own. Like, when you make money or there's money in the house, put some aside for yourself.
Always.
Yeah.
There is not a 40 and up woman alive that will tell me to get married in my 20s or get married early 20s.
Or not have something for yourself, because I know people who were, stay-at-home moms and stuff like that. And it seems like at a certain point, what I do gather is when I look at my parents' relationship and my friends' parents, there was about like 20 or so years. There's been like a, it's not just like my family. I've seen it in most of my friends and all that stuff. And so I do think that people change and evolve with time, and relationships change.
Yeah.
And I think that we should also not have like this, just because the relationship ended doesn't mean it's not successful or didn't serve a purpose. I think that that's a part too. And everything has an expiration date. Now, I know that's not as, with the Bible and all that stuff, but I'm at this point now where I'm like, Bible is an interpretation of what people thought. So like, there's a certain bias in there, but I ain't gonna get on that. I ain't gonna open that gate. But that's just kind of like, I feel like we are like, so like, this is it. And I feel like, that's.
I plan on getting married once.
I honestly, like I said, I don't mind me some my second wife. I want you to get all the bad kinks out. I want a good husband. Let's iron out all this stuff. I don't even want to go through all that. Let's help you learn that lesson.
I listen to way too much R&B because it has ruined me. I actually once I need my man to have a great job or some great income coming in, because I do want you to pay majority of the bills. But I want to marry for love, and I don't think that those two things have to be mutually exclusive.
They don't.
I only plan on getting married once because I hope to have vetted this person and have talked to God about it, and I need the okay that like this is you, fam. Like this is all you.
And you deserve
I would hope that I'm not saying stick it out, because I would never encourage a woman to stick it out if she's down and happy. But I also think that in this microwavable generation, we have more options, but I also feel like we're always looking for something better, even when it comes to our relationships. Like, because
I think that there's some truth to that.
You can go in any app and scroll and have a date by the next day, like if you really wanted to. So if I have a fight with my man and,
well, I think what it is,
off, I can do that.
You've got to, like you said, really get to know and want that person for who they are, no matter the circumstances. But is that an unrealistic expectation to, like, I don't know. This is something I think about. Like, in your truest, like, when you boil it all down, like, who are you really? And, like, if people are going to change, like, you're going to evolve, or you're going to die, like, or you die.
Right.
So, like, the thing is, I've seen people change in ways that I can't imagine. And, like, getting married, you're signing up for, whatever that inevitability is. Like I said, my parents' relationship, they have gone in completely different paths. And I know that was nothing that they imagined. And I don't think I could do that.
Well, I feel like the point of marriage is that you're doing life with someone, and hopefully you're growing with them. Yeah. If you're the same exact person I married 20 years ago, I don't know why people say that you're not the person I married. They shouldn't be. Well, 20 years has gone by.
But like, are also like the things that you grow to love is something you can grow to hate. Like it's complicated.
It is. But I feel like when you sign up for marriage, you sign up for something complicated. The peaches, the rainbows, that's the unrealistic opinion. And I also feel like a lot of women get married for the wedding. Yes. Not to have a marriage.
Yes.
You put all this work into the wedding. Just you should have just had an event.
Yeah.
just stay engaged or just stay single.
Yeah, I agree to that.
You don't want a marriage. You wanted the bride. Yeah. You wanted the bells and whistles.
I agree to that.
A wedding. And when you found out that this is what married life is like, and also I think there are levels. Like, I don't plan on cohabitating with the person I plan on marrying. I want there to be a difference. I'm still trying to figure out what I consider like a wife benefit and a girlfriend and a fiance benefit to be. But you're not getting everything a wife would get.
Yeah, I agree to that.
If, like, I'm not doing wife things for girlfriend prices. That's just, I forgot which judge said that. And I was like, sis is speaking some truth.
That's what my aunt was saying that. And just like, don't move in nobody. It's wifely things for free. I can agree to that. There is a distinct difference. But I don't know. I just feel like I've just seen people, adults. Well, I'm an adult, but the actual adults.
I understand what you mean by that. I've seen the adults.
Or like other people change into things that just are unrecognizable. And when I if that were to happen to me, I don't know if I could stay. And is that giving up? Like I What I've described
not
when Art shit said that he felt like I was gonna be a good wife and a good mom, I said there's a level of maturity that I can recognize in myself that I still need to reach. Like I said earlier, I would have threw my crock at Safari, and that's not the appropriate response. So like I can understand that there still needs to be growth.
Yeah.
And
even when you get married, I feel like you're not completely done growing.
yeah, and you should be continuing to grow and learn new things, and I feel like that's important. But you got to have a baseline that's above me right now, because, like I said, that motherfucker would not, that ain't it.
Okay, so the thing is, marriage is something. It's like a new journey. Your spouse is going to test you in ways that you didn't know that were possible. Whether that's good or bad.
I just think I'm gonna have me an old man. I'm gonna be
ways
somebody's old lady, and we just gonna have a common law marriage.
Oh my gosh.
You go ahead and spend it.
Actually, okay, so oddly enough, and I'll ask this question, maybe, I think we're getting close to the end anyway. There's one more thing we want to discuss. But
girl, we about an hour in.
I know. It'll be a quick thing, though. No, it'll be real quick. Okay. So a lot of my cousins are just eloping. And, like, just getting married or, like, going to the Justice of the Peace. And could you do that?
Yeah. But, like,
I just can't.
I could probably do it. I mean, I have an ideal wedding. I do have a Pinterest board.
This girl has a Pinterest board. She has her friends indoctrinated.
I was like, I go through friends and family. I do it every few years to make sure we're still on the game plan. If somebody were to ask what I want in an engagement ring, engagement and wedding, let's all say it at the same time. Emerald ring.
Oh my gosh.
Big proposal. Destination wedding.
I guess I just want someone to go through all that trouble for me. I feel like that's how I'm gonna know, like, it's real. Is that shallow?
A little bit, but I mean, it's the right idea. What I'm saying is, I feel like I could be swept up in one of those things where, like, let's just get married and we can do the other things later if the love is so real. But also, I'll be going around the whim. It's like, fuck, you want to get married? Fuck it.
For my future husband, if he's listening, no, that shit ain't gonna fly with me.
Imagine me FaceTime you. Bitch, I got married. What the hell? Then put it on me.
That'll be that. I'd be like, okay, someone make Carson squirt. I got it.
But at the same time, I'm also pretty oblivious. The nigga could propose to me in the way that I want to. I'll be like, oh shit, I didn't see this coming.
I mean, why does that make so much sense to me?
Like, why? We've only been dating for like, what, 3 to 4 years?
Yeah, this been around for a minute.
I didn't even know we were that serious.
Oh my gosh. Do you still think that some of the traditional things for marriage, like let's say that you do decide, yes, I want the wedding, I want all that. Do you feel like you would require him to ask your dad? Do you feel like, is that like outdated? Like, let's say y'all had that conversation and you were like, okay.
I mean, ideally, yes, but the current relationship that I have with my father, I don't care what no. If my relationship with my dad does not improve, then it's not going to be a deal breaker if you don't ask. However, I would like that. I mean, all right, my one wedding thing that, like, I just can't do is a white suit jacket.
Oh, my God.
I don't like that. And if that is the hill you're willing to die on, we will not get married. So that's the hill I'm willing to be single on. The man that is out there for me will not adorn a white suit jacket.
That's hilarious.
I am so serious. I'm not joking.
I feel like even though, me and my dad's relationship is pretty like stagnant. Like it don't really go up or don't really go down. I feel like it's progressively getting better, but it's just so freaking slow. Because I guess I'm still stuck in the mindset, like, you're the parent. Like, you should call me.
Well, I think what I've definitely, in the last, like, 3 to 4 years, is realized, like, I'm not looking at my parents as parents. They're people. Yeah. They make decisions.
I totally get that. Yeah.
And some of the times, they make bad decisions. And I think, growing up, we put them on a certain pedestal. Wow. I'm glad you didn't see that. And, got distracted.
That's okay. I'm going to ask you about the text later. The text that just came on the laptop that she doesn't want me to see. No, I'm going to ask you about it later.
I ain't going to bring it up. But I think that, at least with my parents, to realize that they are human. They make a lot of mistakes. And they're making the best decision that they feel like they can. And the know-how to that. And so I feel like I'm definitely trying to give them more grace. My only issue is, like, they don't ever see their faults. And it's like... Now, I'm not saying, you're not sometimes your feelings can be invalid. Like you could be, this is something that you think, but that's not necessarily true. But I just feel like, yeah. And I think people use their emotional stakes as facts when that's not necessarily true. Like my mom's biggest thing is like, like, hey, like, we don't have it all together, but we kind of own it compared to there's other members of the family that she feels like isn't their authentic true self. And I'm like, well, there are times in which you act like, like, and you're like, oh, I don't know why I thought that. And I'm like, you do, because you try to be sneaky and it like real obvious. You don't have the good acting or poker face.
I'm weak.
And I feel like it's kind of like they don't ever see their faults. They see each other's faults. And then with my siblings, they're kind of on one side of one parent, one side of the other parent. And I feel like I'm the only person that's actually in the middle seeing both people for who they are as people. Yeah. And I like my siblings are younger, so I'm giving them that grace, but it gets lonely.
They ain't that young.
Well, yeah, but like it feels really isolating because it's like picking a side. And granted, yeah, I'm an adult and stuff, but like it's still my other parent, and it gets, to me, it's always been a little uncomfortable when they like rant or vent about their frustrations. And I get that they want to do that because they're a person and I'm right here. And I think a lot of times they forget that like I'm the child technically. Because there's been plenty of times in which like my dad will be mad at my sister, and then they're so much alike that they'll clash, and so she'll walk away. And then my dad's still angry and he wants to get off his chest, so he starts yelling. And I'm like, this is the wrong daughter. You're not mad at me. I am not the one that you're yelling. Like, hey, look at, like, come back. Yeah. And then, so.
Well, even with the stagnant or the slow progression in me and my dad's relationship, I would still want the guy to ask him.
Well, yeah, like I said, I would ideally, yes, but currently, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know what he would say, so
I don't know,
because what if he said no?
My dad still threatens boyfriends, so
when the last time you had one?
Bitch, no, she's not. I mean, it's funny because I won't even go there. I respect our friendship. I won't even go there. But
no, go ahead and go there.
I say you didn't even like your last one, but it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
I did.
Nope. Like I said, she was hella available. She did not like that man.
It was mostly, this man worked weekends and worked weekend nights. Like, how do you work from 12 to 11? Like, he would close.
I told you didn't like him from the start. You didn't want to believe me. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. But fine. The last boyfriend I had, like my dad, like he threatened to shoot him like the first day he met him. And then when he came to Christmas, he called him a stalker and was, yeah. Well, he did switch schools from me. However, I was doing wifey things and I was like barely a girlfriend. I noticed that the school he was at was trash. And I was like, you need to go ahead and switch schools. Otherwise, you definitely ain't graduating.
Did you graduate?
Still didn't.
Shout out to you though.
I think he's in a different program.
Okay, well, I mean, it's a journey, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
It is, but what I'm saying is, I think my dad, like, even though he doesn't say it, I know he would be very hurt if I didn't require that of someone. Like,
well, I think that is something I want.
Say, no nothing.
Yeah. And I think that's important. You got to get along with my family. Like, I live with assholes. Like, you got to be able to hold your own. Like, my family's mean. Like, they're funny, but they're mean. Like, right. I barely got through it, and I'm sensitive, and I have like a harder exterior because of them. But like,
she's just a Gemini.
I'm a softie.
When I say that. But the last thing that we want to talk about is when it comes to marriage, this is different societal pressures between men and women, and how, if you really look at a lot of the reads that we give women social media wise, half of them have to do with their ability to get or keep a man.
That's real. And it's really interesting that you're less of a woman if you don't have one. And what I'm talking about is, I don't know if you guys, back to, social commentary, Tabitha Brown and Wendy Williams. And she gave her a good old church lady read about, like, I love you and I hope God sends somebody to love you like my husband that's, a LAPD officer that I just retired. But I mean, and it was kind of like this whole veil of like sweetness, but she was really trying to, talk mess, and a lot of people ate it up.
You ain't got no man.
And it's like, granted, Wendy, I feel like there should be give and take in a relationship, and I feel like they seem like they have a happy relationship, and what works for them works for them. I guess he had taken care of the home and was consistent with his work for the umpteenth amount of years. They've been together for a long time, and when she was able to, hey, you can pursue your dreams like you've let me pursue mine, now that my dreams are paying most of the bills, I don't see anything wrong with that. And then when she went to read Wendy's, like, you know, like, I hope God sends you a man that's going to be good to you and all that stuff. And Wendy is extremely successful. Like, bitch is messy. Very messy. Shady.
But if you were to put her resume with a man name at the top, you would be like, oh, they've been working.
Yeah. So I think that we definitely need to get away with the woman being less than if she doesn't have a man. Especially as a black woman, because as a black woman, the more accolades you get, the less men you'll have. And it's not like, and when black men get a lot of access and money and the same high standards, they don't choose black women.
I just snatched. Do-rags are snatched, actually.
Well, yeah, because you can't wear bonnets in public.
Different story for a different day.
I was like, don't get me started on that. Oh, y'all. So, like, all right, over the 4th of July when I drank a lot, I was yelling at my uncle about how niggas ain't shit.
Oh, my God.
And I was talking in a circle, and I was like, all right, well, shit, I still made my motherfucking point. Each time I went around that motherfucking circle, y'all understood what I was saying.
Sounds
Speaking
like
facts.
A lot of circling, though.
It was a whole bunch, and my cousins recorded some of it.
But, yes.
But, like, the points are made.
Yeah, black men they don't see black women as their only option. Whereas black women, we tend to have a more narrow view. You know, call it what you want. It could be media selling us that that's the only people who will want us. Media selling black men as like this super
honest.
Masculine or
I can't be
whatever.
with somebody that can't say the N-word.
I don't know. My next round of dating, I want to try it. I be saying that now. I seriously value legacy. It's not even like if I'm not attracted to like men of other races. 'Cause I think black men always try to pull that card. Oh, black women aren't attracted to anyone else, and we're attracted to everyone.
No, there's some fine ass motherfuckers out there.
There really
some
are
fine white guys,
and they're like the
fine.
turn.
But the thing is just.
Loyalty.
Not a lot of people like black women, and a lot of hate against black women, misogyny, it's just so deeply embedded in the language in our culture and society that it's like.
I would also argue that there are some non-black men that do like black women, but because we have that view, we don't even like see them like
or check for them,
yeah.
and then but there's like trying to dig through like, is this a fetish? Is this microaggression? And hell, this even we can be fetishized within our own race and all that stuff. Like, I saw this video, right? Or this was like a smash or pass, and there was guys going around. There's like
I think
3 or 4.
So whack.
It's a very middle school concept, but they're going around a group of girls, and there was one girl that was a lot darker than everybody else, and most of the guys were like, pass, you're too black, pass. You know what? I like dark skins. I might fuck. This person's like, no.
Where's the line between fetish and you like what you like? That's what I've been trying to figure out lately.
And that's what I don't know.
Because
and like,
don't we technically want a dude that's like black? Like, and I mean,
yeah, but as an equal opportunity hoe,
we are. But between me and you, how many light skinned niggas like have we actually been crushing over after 8th grade?
A few. They don't like me back.
Compared,
girl, you know, at a certain point, you kind of go with who likes you back. They don't
so
normally
who do you feel like. Okay, but you've also said the same thing about like dark skin. It's like who's checking for you then?
Girl, I don't know. It don't make no sense. I just feel like niggas just be shooting.
What I'm saying is, I think we overuse the term fetish because what is the difference between that's your type, that's what you like, that's your preference, and a fetish? Where is the line? Because when I've seen men like. Go online, not even like just a black thing, but like, oh, I love plus size women or like women who are a little thick. You gotta be 2 something to do something. I've seen those videos, and under the comments, it's always, oh, he's just fetishizing. He's just trying to get a like. Where is the line between just showing love and like?
Because what it is I'm a tall woman, right? And let's say you like tall women. I'm a woman and I'm interesting, I'm pretty, I'm smart, and I just happen to be tall. You only date me because I'm tall. So you get mad if I don't show up in heels. You get mad if like there's like the actions, I think, differentiate between types and fetish. Like, if I'm bigger girl and it's like, oh, I want to lose weight. Oh, don't lose your curves.
Okay. That one makes, okay, I got you. I've seen a Jerry Springer where this guy was like, she was losing too much weight. So I had to go get a girl that was bigger than her.
I was like, I've talked to people like, I want to lose weight. Oh no, you'll lose what you've got. And I was like, think I'm just tired of my back hurting. Like, and I think,
gosh, girl, I've been dealing with that all weekend.
I feel like there's a lot of women's stuff. We don't have autonomy over ourselves, and the men feel like our bodies and our stuff are a consumption for them. Like certain looks, like, oh, remember somebody told me like, my dad was like, I don't like that much makeup. Well, then wear fucking less makeup. I didn't put this like. I don't give a fuck, but or like, oh, I like the natural look on girls. Like, I don't really like a whole bunch of, you're naturally pretty. And like, none of this shit is for you. And like, they don't get that.
No.
We're just rambling. It's a long episode. We'll end it right now. We'll be back.
A lot of things to think about.
Yeah, I'm going to be back with the Ciroc bottles and we'll go shot for a shot. And then we'll just, next week we could do drunk dialing.
Oh my God.
See what happens.
Goodbye, world.
Bow. Bye.